Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime brown. Give me your heart's on fire. Maybe my heart's on fire. If you will kill me, I will spill you into your guts of cum. Lots of cum. All the places in your bum. There you go. Michigan J. Frog. The lost lyrics to the Michigan J. Frog song.
What is
that frog racist?
With Michigan? What?
It was Michigan J. Frog. You see, in one froggy evening, the guy found the frog in the foundation of a building, and the frog would dance for him. And he got greedy, thinking that he could exploit the frog. But when he tried to show it, when he tried to make it dance for everybody else, it didn't do it. And it's like Michigan. It's like Michigan in that way, and that Michigan is very disappointing.
It's not that bad. It's pretty good.
I guess, no one gets hyped up about Michigan. No one's like, we're going to Michigan. Yeah, everybody.
I haven't really explored the state much. It's on my bucket list, of things to do before I die, which I'm hoping for like a early 50s death.
Yeah.
So, I got 20 or so years.
To explore Michigan.
To explore. I think there's more to it than just my little town here in southeast Michigan, which is basically, southeast Michigan is like a big suburb. Mm-hmm. The whole place. I mean, it's like a suburb that extends from Chicago, down and around the Great Lakes over to Detroit, and then from
Detroit to Kalamazoo.
Detroit down to Toledo. It's like a great sort of megalopolis type of deal. Mm-hmm. But if you go up north to the up north country in Michigan, you get to the real wilderness out there.
Get to the spooky, haunted gray areas that look like The Witcher.
Yeah.
You could have your Witcher fantasy. Fulfill your Witcher fantasies.
It looks like one Michigan. Particular area in Witcher, Velen, the land of Velen, which is a swampy sort of bog area, which is kind of what Michigan's like. It's kind of swampy.
Yeah.
It's like a cold, swampy place. It's the Louisiana of the North.
Mm-hmm. In that they have delicious gumbos?
No, they just have swamps. They have like Polish jelly donuts. That's the delicacy up here. Really kind of gross. I forget what they're called. I think they're like potchkis or something.
Potchkis?
I hate jelly
But no
donuts.
fan boats. Do they have fan boats?
Yeah, on the lakes, I imagine.
Okay. Because that's always been my dream, is to be in a fan boat race.
Have you ever been to New Orleans?
I've never been to NOLA.
Well, we should make a trip down there. Trip.
Yeah, let's get some po' boys.
I would love to get po' boys and walk around the more dangerous parts of New Orleans with you and say really crazy things loudly.
Yeah. I will insist on calling them poor boys. Hi, could I have a shrimp poor boy? You mean po' boy? Yeah, if you have bad pronunciation of the English language.
Wow. No, you know what you would do. You'd be saying all kinds of funny things loudly as we're walking down the neighborhood streets.
Well, like Katrina was punishment for the gestalt of sin that this evil city has built up over time.
Yeah, or just like singing the song Walking on Sunshine by Katrina and the Waves and people getting the reference.
Yeah, everybody loves that song. Everybody loves it in reference to that horrible disaster.
So for one of my only YTMNDs, those that
you made a YTMND?
Oh, several. They didn't do well because one of them was just a picture of the Hurricane Katrina devastation with
that's bad.
With that song playing.
That's bad. It's bad.
And it was
you can't do that.
It was also right after it happened.
Okay. Well, you were a little edgelord when you were a teenager.
When I was 15, I was like, you know what? Screw these, because we had a refugee from New Orleans come, but, it was an all-boys Catholic school. Mm-hmm. So we got a refugee from an all-boys Catholic school. So we got a rich kid.
Yeah.
And he was like, not that hard up.
No. He wasn't a Ninth Ward guy. He was in the First Ward.
He became like the class mascot, and for some reason he got placed next to me. Okay. Which was a mistake because I was so embittered. I was not a good, I was like, welcome to hell. You know? You shouldn't have put him next to me. I don't know why they did that. I was not a good ambassador.
Was he hearkening for the storm by the end of it?
I think he liked the class. I think he had a problem. He had to figure out how to get rid of me first. So he had to kind of, because I was sitting next to him and very talkative and negative. And so he had to kind of shake off me, and I was had my feathers ruffled when I kind of realized he didn't want to be my friend. And but that was okay. It was good because I learned, not everyone is going to share your friend, compatibility markers or whatever.
Yeah, especially if you keep making Katrina jokes at them after they've been Katrina jokes at these NOLA residents in 2005.
Yeah,
fresh after the disaster.
Oh, is that when it was? Yeah, that's when it was.
When was it? It was in 2004.
Yeah, I think so. I think I was 15. I think I was in 10th grade. No, I was in 11th grade. So it was 2005 or 6.
Katrina's a big deal. I mean, it represents a sea change, pun intended. No, not really. But the idea that it really fomented this era of the new era of capitalizing on disaster is, I think, one of the first chapters in the shock doctrine talks about the rush to implement charter schools in New Orleans after Katrina. Because there was that everything's destroyed, so we can come in and make things better with our new liberal plans. Yeah. And I don't think that worked out too well.
I don't know what, I mean...
But Katrina was started by the charter school folks. The charter school people blew up the levees.
Yeah, and that was a secret plan. And the charter school people probably responsible for COVID, because COVID is really wreaking havoc on public schools.
Mm-hmm. Charter schools? Not so much. You wouldn't have had this with charter schools. What is a charter school? It's like a public school, but not. It's they follow their own code, not disseminated by a board of education. Usually it's like something akin to an international baccalaureate, but it's much looser and there's no oversight. So sometimes charter schools can be better than public schools, but oftentimes they're worse because of that lack of oversight.
I wouldn't send my kid to a charter school.
Yeah, they're basically subsidized private schools, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would send my kid to a reputable private school, but hopefully not to a charter school. But, and then in another 5 years, who knows? Maybe we won't even have a fucking country anymore, man,
Well, you're not going to send your kids to Catholic school. Not since they got rid of Latin Mass.
I don't care.
They're not doing any favors for anyone getting rid of their Latin Mass.
It's weird because now Latin Mass has become a symbol for the alt-right to prove their bona fides. Like Caitlyn, gun girl Caitlyn Bennett.
She
just posted today a pic I just went to my first Latin Mass. It was such an experience. And then also the fucking Red Scare girls talked about Latin Mass.
Yeah, it's fucking weird and gross. The Caitlyn Bennett was especially funny because she had on a veil, and she was dressed like a woman in a Pierre Bruegel painting.
They should try out living under a extremely conservative Roman Catholic style community, and see what happens to girls when they get raped by their teachers. See what happens to them. They should try it out, because I saw what happens, and what happens is the community unifies to protect the rapist, and then they ostracize the woman for being a slut. That's what they'll do to you. So it's
that's where Red Scare's going anyway. That's the inevitable end to that podcast. Is something terrible happens to one of them, and they end up, and the other one ends up going with the person that did the terrible thing to the other person.
You think that's how it's gonna go?
Yeah. Yeah. I think something awful is going to happen to Dasha, and Anna is going to side with the abuser.
Yeah.
Anna K. Skywalker.
Dasha will probably start dating someone from Succession.
Yeah.
And then
she's going to start dating Jeremy Strong.
Which one is he?
He's Kendall.
Jeremy Strong?
Didn't he get canceled in an actor profile, or there was some weird thing about an actor profile that happened, and then everyone every actor in Hollywood was coming to the defense of Jeremy Strong.
So I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but a funny thing kind of happened when my wife and I were watching Succession, watching the most recent episode, season 3, episode 9, and the episode's an hour long. 45 minutes in, I finally stand up and I'm like, I've had it. I'm not going to watch this show anymore. Nothing is happening.
Yeah.
And I sort of stomp upstairs, and then Caitlin starts pausing it and calling me. It's like, something's happening. And I'm like, God damn it. It just pushed me to the limits, and then I gave up on it, and then something starts to happen at the very end.
I am also similarly. I tried to Succession pill myself like dozens of times. It just doesn't take. I don't like the show. I mean, I like the actors and I like how it's presented, but I just don't get enjoyment from watching these characters.
No, it's not particularly enjoyable.
I think the enjoyment comes from not so much sympathizing with the characters, but sort of relating. You can relate to a character without sympathizing with a character, and I think people try to think about which of the Roy siblings that they would be, with most people wanting to be Roman because he's the funniest and the coolest.
Right.
But yeah, it's not that I have to like characters in order to be able to enjoy a show. In fact, I think It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia or Seinfeld is great, and those characters are horrible characters. But I guess Succession is just, it's like, for a comedy, its jokes per minute are pretty low, and that's the point, because it's not just a comedy, it's a comedy drama. But yeah, usually I'm looking for more jokes per minute in like a show that's essentially supposed to be a comedy.
You ever watch Pen 15?
No, I heard that's good though.
Caitlin watches that. It's pretty good. It's a little weird because it's a bunch of older people like pretending to be 13.
Okay.
So, it's a little Epstein, but
it's
a little bit Epstein, but
I don't know. I think there should be a way to depict adolescent romance without it being pedo-y. I hope. Unless is that the only way? I mean, there's Euphoria, which is pretty pedo-y.
I don't know. I think we should just leave it to the foreign films.
Sure.
It always seems better when it's a different language.
Like the beautiful and wonderful movie Cuties, which I didn't see.
Right. Exactly.
I'm trying to think of like a movie. Actually, you know what movie does a very good job at depicting adolescent romances? Moonrise Kingdom, the old Wes Anderson Moonrise Kingdom. That feels nice and good, and there's nothing like creepy about it, really. There's no
What are the movies that came out? Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Are you gonna go see Spider-Man?
I'll probably go see Spider-Man because I like being fed my slop, even though this is another nail in the coffin towards any other type of cinema appearing in the theaters.
Well, it did well, right?
It did crazy well. It got
Very
like
funny.
124 million.
Why? That's sort of weird. That's weird how that happens.
Even its preview ticket numbers, I think, beat Star Wars The Force Awakens, and during a pandemic, no less. Which is...
The listener couldn't see it, but I soy-faced so big that my jaw became unhinged.
Yeah. Your mouth became all of existence for an eternity. What if you could soy-face so big that you soyed another universe into your face, and you became all of time because your jaw unhinged to allow the passage of time into your face? The Succession thing with Jeremy Strong. So I'm reading from a Vox.com article. The New Yorker profile, yeah, of Jeremy Strong garnered the kind of reaction you'd expect. Social media users boggled at Strong's behavior, especially what Schulman depicts as his pretentious pseudo-method acting process, which includes everything from spontaneous script ad-libs to refusing to rehearse with his scene partners in advance. While some embraced Strong's affectations, many online seemed to feel that Strong's all-or-nothing personality would be insufferable to have to deal with on a regular basis, on set or off, and that his behavior towards colleagues was particularly egregious. The conversation was especially fierce on Twitter. Oh my god, can you imagine writing Vox.com articles?
Yeah. If I was a method actor, I would only choose parts where the person I'm playing makes a lot of money.
Or eats a lot of ice cream.
Yeah. Yeah, those are my two things.
Yeah, ice cream and money. That's all that matters.
I've been trying to limit the ice cream, but I have to admit, we've been making a lot of cookies since we got the KitchenAid mixer.
I've been preparing I've been method acting for my role as an undisciplined fat guy for 30 years, and I've yet to be cast. But when it comes, baby, when it comes, I'll be ready.
Yeah. I mean, we're 32 now, which means life is over.
It's donezo.
It's just time to start packing up your butt and your gut. Packing up your butt and your gut. You can't take any ice cream with you when you die, except for the ice cream that you turn into fat cells.
No. I mean, you can be buried with tubs of ice cream, but it's not really taking it
that
with you.
That sounds pretty sweet. I think I might request that.
What if you did like a reverse transubstantiation? Like your body becomes ice cream in heaven. Or something like that. Instead of a cracker becoming Jesus on earth.
Oh, okay. I mean, that doesn't...
Like reverse transubstantiation.
Sure. I had something else I wanted to bring up before we went down reverse transubstantiation, but now it's just
I'm just thinking of cis-substantiation, where a cracker turns into a cracker.
Spider-Man. There's 3 of them.
There's 3 the Spider-Man.
Did you get those spoilers yet? There's 3 of them in there.
Yeah. It's all, they're bringing back all the franchise stars because people like things they recognize more than anything else.
So why didn't they call it Spider-Man?
Well, that would be a spoiler, you see.
But having what's his name?
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, having
Andrew
Tobey
Garfield.
Maguire on the credits list is a kind of a spoiler. I don't know. Seems like if I was Tobey Maguire, I would probably. Would you, if you were Tobey Maguire, would you do Spider-Man No Way Home?
Yeah, that's money. Absolutely. And I haven't heard Tobey. What's he been doing recently?
I think he just does movies where he like kind of grins and looks to the side.
He was in The Boss Baby, but that was in 2017. It seems like the roles are drying up. It's a little few and far between. Oh, this is just his selected work. Oh, he's been a producer for a while. He's produced a lot of movies, few of which I've heard. Z for Zachariah, The Fifth Wave, Brittany Runs a Marathon, Get Duked. What the hell are these? These sound like the made-up movies in Seinfeld.
Yeah. Looks like his career is really in the tank.
He was Great Gatsby. Maybe it's not in the... Well, didn't he get... So did you ever see that very middling Aaron Sorkin movie, Molly's Game?
No.
The one where... I think it's Jessica Chastain. I want to say Jessica Chastain. I'm not sure. But some severe-looking white woman sets up a high-stakes poker game. And it's based on a true story. And apparently a celebrity is supposed to be a real high roller. And in the movie, it's Michael Cera. Mm-hmm. But apparently that character is based on Tobey Maguire, who was a real like high-stakes gambling fiend. And sort of psychotic in that respect.
In real life? Wow.
Yeah, in real life, Tobey Maguire is supposed to be a real piece of work. Sort of a dangerous guy.
Wow, that's so funny. Kind of like Michael J. Fox.
What?
You don't know that? Yeah. Michael J. Fox is
Mike-
like he's also got a sort of a menacing, dangerous, real life reputation.
Really? He's shaking everybody's cokes up.
Well, and he does that in Curb.
Yeah.
But that's the Parkinson's.
He's going down to the hardware store and shaking up the paint cans so all the paint can shakers are out of a job.
Yeah, hey, man, put the robots out of business before they put us out of business. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You have a paint can shaker and you'll have Michael J. Fox, and it's like the modern day John Henry. John Henry was a steel driving man. Michael J. Fox was a paint can shaking man.
Yeah, and then there's O. Henry.
Mm-hmm. The playwright or the candy bar?
The candy bar.
Okay.
And I was going to talk about all the cookies we're making with the KitchenAid mixer. We got the KitchenAid Pro mixer.
Oh yeah.
So it makes the butter and the sugar get all creamed up. I love.
Did you have kitchen HIV?
Yeah, we have
turned
KitchenAids.
into full-blown KitchenAids. Yeah.
KitchenAids, yeah. I made molasses cookies. We made chocolate chip. We made regular old sugar.
What about ass cookies?
No ass cookies.
Did you grind up the ass? Did you ferment the ass and put it in a cookie?
No, but we have been eating kimchi, which tastes the same as fermented ass.
It delicious fermented garlic and chili ass.
And cabbage, Napa cabbage. Yum, yum.
Napa cabbage. Korean food is...
It's great. It's beautiful and interesting and great.
I've recently become... there's a place that does... what are they called? Tteokbokki? I don't know their name. But they're the little glutinous rice tubes that they put in sort of a ketchupy hot sauce. And they're delicious. I love them so much. I suck them down. Like eels in my mouth.
You've been getting that a lot?
I've been getting that a lot, yeah. There's for some reason, a bunch of Korean hot dog places. You know the insane hot dog technology they have in Korea?
Nope, I don't. Describe it.
Well, there's one dog which I consistently get. It's like a corn dog, except instead of cornmeal battering, it has cubes of potato.
Yes, I have seen that.
They'll put the cube. It's like basically a bunch of fries, but on a hot dog, and I love that. I eat it whole. I put the entire stick in my mouth, and out comes the stick bare.
I saw that because there's a Korean YouTube chef sensation called. Her name is Mangchi.
Oh yeah, I know her.
She makes the Korean style potato dogs or whatever, potato cube dogs, and it looks awesome.
I can vouch for the cube dogs, but they also have tteokbokki or whatever it's called. I don't know what it is.
And those are the tubes of.
Those are the rice tubes with ketchupy hot sauce on them.
Ketchupy hot sauce.
The guy's daughter, and there's a scene where the guy's daughter in Squid Game is eating it.
Oh, really?
At the very beginning, where he's treating her to fried chicken.
But he has no money because
of capitalism.
No comment.
Yeah.
Apparently, Jijek was talking about it on Chapeaux.
Jijek talks about the Squid Game on Chapeaux?
Yeah, did you?
I don't listen to Chapeaux anymore.
Oh, no.
Not because of anything they did, or just like, I've stopped becoming a podcast guy, which is very funny because we're recording a podcast now, and we obviously expect people to listen to it.
Well, don't worry. No good podcasts are being put out right now.
It's true.
It's the doldrums of the year.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, even though a lot of good movies are coming out, there's a lot of Oscar bait coming out, because this is where you put the Oscar bait.
I'm trying to decide between Disney Plus and Apple TV.
I'd probably have to go with Disney Plus.
But
probably got more of the stuff.
The annoying thing is I want to watch the Foundation show. And I don't really want to watch Mandalorian. But I would watch Mandalorian.
You would watch Mandalorian.
But I just wish they were both. I wish Disney would just buy Apple.
Do you wish the monopoly to just happen?
Full I want Disney to buy Apple, and then I want that company to buy Amazon. And then I want that company to buy Walmart. And then I want them to change it to like a Mazomart. And then Disnar.
Disnar. Disnar. It's like that sounds like a villain in a heavy metal book.
Yeah, well, we're heading towards the monoculture. Like the only differences between the cultural products or properties will be like slight variations of corporate dialect.
Yeah, there's only going to be one show. Which show is that going to be?
Sorry,
I'm
getting too capitally real right now.
You were reading Mark Fisher's.
It's annoying. I don't
realism.
like it. It's annoying.
You're not. What don't you like about it?
He's not. There's no evidence. He's not. He's saying a bunch of shit, and it's different when Adam Curtis does it because he's putting it to music, and so you're kind of grooving, and you're like, this is kind of like a beatnik poem.
Yeah.
But when you're reading it in a book, you're like, you should really cite your sources on this one, buddy, because you just wrote that down. You just wrote it down and you can't prove that at all. So it's very speculative.
That's great about being a theoretician. It's just a theory.
Yeah.
A game theory. That's what Mark Fisher should said, in order to popularize capitalist realism.
I think ultimately he's like, I don't know, ultimately I'm like on his side or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, sure. Your theories are, I'll tolerate your theories. I may not finish the book, even though it is like 30 pages long.
For some reason, I'm just picturing Jijek now going, after all, it is just a theory. A game theory. Do you know what that is? Do you know what game theory is? Do you know who MatPat is?
I know of game theory.
Not like the concept in... Not like the concept in economics, but rather the YouTube channel where the guy goes into minutia about video games.
No, I don't know that.
It's a very bad YouTube channel. Well, it's not a bad YouTube channel, but it's for a younger audience. So, and the guy who runs it is named MatPat.
Well,
I don't think that's his real name, though.
That Jijek was saying on Chapeaux that kind of made me just be like, seriously. It's like he's predicting that Russia and China are at the same time going to invade Ukraine and Taiwan, respectively.
Okay. Why?
And it's like he's like, it's imminent. I just don't think that's going to happen.
Well, why would they? What is the reason for them to invade Ukraine and Taiwan?
Well,
respectively?
Russia wants to invade Ukraine because they don't want Ukraine to become part of NATO. Supposedly, and China wants to take back Taiwan because Taiwan is like super rich and China wants Taiwan and they've always wanted Taiwan. So they just,
I mean, I could see Russia doing Ukraine because they've already successfully taken back parts of Ukraine before. So that seems within the wheelhouse. But they already got the good part. They already got Crimea. Why do you need the shitty parts of Ukraine? Why do you need the Holodomor parts of Ukraine?
No, I think they're just putting troops on the border to like try to get leverage. I don't think they're about to invade Ukraine in January or December. Seems like a fun time to do a ground invasion.
Everyone should do ground invasions in winter. It's the best time.
And then there's the armchair generals on Reddit who are like, no, it's actually the perfect time because of the ground is frozen and it's like, well, maybe the ground's frozen. It's been kind of a warm winter.
All generals are armchair generals.
And China's not about to invade Taiwan in this decade.
Well, that would sort of be suicide for them, wouldn't it be? Because wouldn't invading Taiwan like break up a number of treaties that they have? Or
invading Taiwan would be bad for everybody. Like,
well, wouldn't it? It would just that would start a war, wouldn't it?
It would start a war, and it would bring world commerce to a halt from everywhere. So,
they're way too dependent. Like, it would give America ample reason to start a trade war, and they're way too dependent on America.
We already did start the trade war.
Yeah, but bigger trade war.
It's still ongoing. That's also something Jijek talks about, is how there's no big difference between Biden's China policy and Trump's China policy, which is, it's like, okay, how do you know? Where's your evidence? Like, no one is backing any of their statements up anymore. And
You don't have to. You can just say stuff.
Yeah, like, I don't know. You hear about on the Trillbillies, they every week talk about the kids in cages and shit. But Biden has done something about that, apparently.
Has he?
If the news is to be believed, they're not housing families in anywhere anymore. They're doing what's it called? Ankle bracelets.
That's still not great. Yeah.
Right. Well, they didn't change the law to allow for unlimited immigration yet, because that would be a thing Congress would need to pass. But they're not putting the kids in the cages anymore. But it's
I think it would be cool
podcast
if they
hosts
did.
act like they are.
Well, we're podcast hosts. We should just start saying stuff like, I think that in the next year, Ireland is going to repatriate with Northern Ireland, and they're going to change the name from Ireland to Cool City.
Like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's a fake news story. Is Axios.com, is that real news?
Nothing is real news. You can't trust anything,
Like,
so you might as well make it up.
So there's this story from this Thursday, December 16th. Biden to stop holding undocumented families in detention centers.
You see, a lot of people think the news is like classical music. You know, it's all regimented, and, you know, you got to play the notes at the right time. But the thing is, the news is a lot more like jazz, you know. Sometimes it's the notes you're not playing that are the most important notes.
I don't even know, like...
Which is why House of Decline is starting our new news program, Jazz News. All the news that's like jazz. You want to riff? You want to riff with your horns on the news? Well, you can with Jazz News. You wanna do a tasty lick? You want to do a tasty lick about the economy? You can with Jazz News.
Okay, so this, according to Yahoo News, which is basically covering the same thing, the Biden administration...
It's a subsidiary of Jazz News.
...has turned its 3 migrant family detention centers into facilities for single adults, appearing to halt for now the practice of detaining parents with their children. Mm-hmm. Is that what the kids in cages things are?
I think kids were being separated from their parents and put into cages.
But after Trump, people like the Trillbillies and others on Twitter claimed Biden was continuing to keep the kids in cages.
I know it's a different version of the kids in cages, isn't it?
I don't know. But now apparently they're not keeping the kid. I don't know. Why wouldn't this be a big? Why wouldn't the New York Times or whatever put this on the front page for like 2 weeks?
Well, you know the reason. Because kids in cages was a good way to get at Trump, even though it's something that... I mean, kids in cages... Obama did kids in cages, which is, I think, why people were initially pointing out the hypocrisy of kids in cages. But, in terms of Biden's approach towards the incarcerated children, I don't know as much. I think people are less focused on that issue and more focused on the stuff that was at the forefront of the political news, which was the infrastructure bill and the social spending bill, which was decoupled, you say. Mm-hmm. Talking about this earlier, talking about how the social safety net bill was decoupled from the infrastructure bill and then was shot down by the Democratic moderates. So America can't have any government benefits.
Well,
but
not any new ones, because Manchin doesn't want to have a big spending bill. Doesn't want to do any big spending. Yeah. The government has done quite a lot of big spending lately.
You know the song "Hey Big Spender"?
Yeah,
it's them.
So, that sucks for everyone, because we're going to continue to do big spending on things that, kill and maim people halfway around the world. Mm-hmm. But we are not going to do big spending on things that would help those, for example, who return from the battle.
We should compromise by doing big spending on things that kill and maim people at home.
Yeah, like, how can we make more of these tornadoes?
Exactly, these tornadoes that are killing Kellogg's workers.
That
was probably the bleakest news of... Was that this week or last week?
The candle factory thing? Yeah.
Yeah. Where
you can't leave. You're too busy making candles, so you can't leave. Tornado? What tornado? Get back to work.
Dying in a natural disaster in a candle factory is very Victorian.
Oh yeah,
like those return guys are getting what they wanted. You know, we are going back.
Yeah, well, they had to be working their overtime
deaths.
Because of the Christmas rush. You know.
Mm-hmm. You won't believe how many candles the people need at Christmas. You know.
I guess it's very strange.
You won't believe how many Christmas-themed candles.
Some Amazon workers died in their warehouse, and
yeah, they should call it a lack of fulfillment center because nobody's happy.
That was a pretty gnarly tornado.
Killed a bunch of folks.
Yeah.
We killed some folks. We tortured some folks.
It also
the Obama tornado.
It also, you know, it's not talked about enough, but the tornado whirling up all that air spread a lot of COVID.
Yeah, that's how COVID is spread, mostly by tornadoes, you know. Why has the CDC stayed silent on the scourge of tornado spreaders?
Yeah. It's just
we have to stop these.
It's sucking up dead people who have COVID and just
flinging them around the countryside.
It's like, well, this town was COVID free until a tornado flung a diseased body.
Yeah, just a bunch of naked dead guys just crashing through my window. Who's going to clean up this mess? I go to my local council and they say, well, maybe you should do it yourself. They were on your private property. And I go, whoa! And I take my big 10-gallon hat and I slam it to the ground and stomp on it. Because there's just all these marauding COVID bodies just flying through windows constantly.
So in some news you may have missed, Ted Cruz has been holding up every single ambassadorship appointment that Biden is trying to put through the Senate because by the arcane rules of the Senate, whoever is the leader of the whatever committee or whatever bullshit, somehow Ted Cruz could make it so that Biden hasn't appointed a single ambassador. Well, good news, folks, that a deal has been reached between Chuck Schumer and Ted Cruz where we're going to try to cancel a Nord pipeline or something from Russia and try to get Europe to buy our natural gas. In exchange for that, Biden is going to get to appoint Rahm Emanuel to be ambassador to...
Oh, great! Rahm, everyone's favorite guy. The greatest guy in the world. The most beloved boy from Chicago.
Yeah, I think he's going to be ambassador
aside from Candyman, the most trusted man in Chicago.
He's going to be ambassador to the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and that's going to go great. He's going to really help them just keep a hold of all their natural resources and definitely not enable companies to go in and get all the things that make your smartphone. An interesting theory I saw on Reddit, so it's right, is that part of the reason for all the global instability is right now is because America and China are competing intensely to secure the natural phone-making resources that are existing in Africa. Because Africa has all the good minerals and cool
all the
rocks,
cobalts,
galliums and cobalts and such that you need
all
to
the
make
uncut
smartphones.
gems. Yeah. So here's what I'm saying. We should get our own natural resources. Why hasn't anybody thought of this before? We need our own lines of cobalt.
The only place that's recently happened is Japan. Japan recently discovered a trove of what's there's a sort of an all-encompassing term for these kinds of minerals.
Rare earth minerals.
Yeah, rare earth minerals, exactly.
Yeah.
Japan just recently discovered a cache, and so the United States
It'd be funny if China and America go to war in Japan.
The United States is like, dang it, why didn't we write into their constitution that we get all their underground mineral rights.
Yeah.
Because we could have done that.
It's something that, Wait, when did America rewrite Japan's constitution after World War II?
Yeah, and they appointed MacArthur to basically be like the governor of Japan for a while, I believe.
MacArthur, noted anime fan, Douglas MacArthur.
Yeah.
Noted weeaboo, Douglas MacArthur. He was carting around in his Yu-Gi-Oh sweatpants,
That's
He was talking about the heart of the cards all the time.
Doing the Naruto run.
Yeah, Douglas MacArthur was just doing
from
the Naruto
foxhole
run.
to foxhole.
That would be great if they made like a World War II, but everyone was doing anime tropes. Everyone was charging up and stuff like that.
Let's get Miyazaki to direct a live-action World War II
Yes.
epic.
Yes, exactly. Frags from our fathers.
Oh no! You go back into that. You go back into that joke hole.
The racist joke.
You go
hole?
back into this. Is a clean. We're not gonna. Might have been the first show we don't have to put explicit for mature audiences only. But now
we're all clean from now on. We're good, clean guys, and we don't make racist, easy, obvious racist jokes about replacing L's with R's. I almost said replacing. There,
you can't help
get
yourself.
To the food. Well, you know what I was watching the other day, just as a lark, was the old television cartoon Drawn Together, which is really stupid, really fucking stupid. But god damn it, I was laughing. God damn it, they were doing a bunch of jokes that had me laughing. But it was this. It's this total relic. This thing that could like. This Bush era comedy that could only be done like immediately after sort of the 90s wave of PC exploitation, but before the 2010s wokeness.
Yeah, I remember watching that a little bit.
Yeah, and not that it was like particularly good or it's like it was a great loss to society that we can't do this type of comedy anymore, but and you probably could do something like Drawn Together. You would just have to distribute it on, like, I don't know, Barstool Sports. Barstool Sports would have to be the ones sponsoring it. Somebody where it doesn't matter if you're uncouth or if you say the wrong thing because you have an audience of brohams lapping it up. Or specifically, it's because it's uncouth or saying the wrong thing, the people love it.
Yeah, there's still definitely a market for that kind of show.
I'm trying to think of like can you think of it like very edgy media that doesn't fall into like the $1 million extreme hole of just being a front for an actual alt-right guy?
I can't, but that's because I'm fully blue-pilled. I have drunk the Kool-Aid. I am a lib who enjoys soy milk. And I have man boobs. And I buy the new Switch when it comes out. I consume...
And you go,
yeah, I consume Cheese Whiz.
Consume cheese. As long as you're not consuming Cheez-Its.
I buy figurines.
Really? You do buy figurines?
No. Of course.
Of course I buy figurines. Would you like to see my collection of figurines?
I willingly take the vaccines.
Yeah.
I wear 4 masks.
I voluntarily get microchips in my penis and my eye.
Yeah. I am a millionaire from Bitcoin.
These are the hallmarks of the blue-pilled person.
Exactly.
I have dogs and cats. I don't make a value judgment.
I dye my hair purple.
I donate my kidneys to the people that need them.
Oh, no, I don't. I would not do that.
You wouldn't donate the kidney? What if I needed a kid?
If you needed a kidney? Wow. I guess.
Would you give me a kidney, Stephen?
Wow.
Stop fucking around!
Let me just.
The,
you know, it's
the
been a
next
good
things
run.
you say will determine the direction of this
The
podcast.
show has been good, man. 87 episodes.
87
Until
episodes.
we got to the kidney.
Kidney question. Yeah. I wouldn't be particularly bummed out if it didn't want to do it.
Well, what if Zoe needs it? You know?
How could I fit my large man-sized kidney into her tiny baby body?
Oh, no, they would just take a little bit out.
They'd just take they'd scoop a tiny portion of the kidney into
they
a
do that?
baby-sized portion of kidney.
Can they serve a baby-sized portion of someone's kidney? Or
Could
do
you
have
have
to get a baby's kidney?
Would you get a baby kidney in, like, if you needed a kidney and, like, a baby had just recently died, you know? Could you get that baby's kidney and it would grow to the size of a regular kidney inside you?
I'm guessing that they probably try to restrict the baby kidneys for other babies who need kidneys. So
Okay.
Theoretically, hypothetically, yes, it would.
Okay.
But it might make you a little more childish in the interim. And
I got all my organs replaced with baby organs, and I'm just feeling so mad all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a funny movie concept.
Getting all your organs replaced with baby organs and becoming the adult baby.
They replaced his brain with the brain of a baby and every other organ.
There's so much space inside me now.
Yeah.
Just you thump on my chest and it sounds like a bass drum because most of my insides are hollow.
Wait, they put a baby brain in a guy? What is this, the Pete Buttigieg story?
Oh, whoa! He's got a baby brain.
What is this, an episode of Pod Save America?
Whoa! Got him! Got those guys. They got the babies. They got the babyest brains of them all. They're always talking about how milk is so much better than formula. Those guys, and they're always going wah.
Yeah.
French Canadian babies, do they cry like this? Wah, wah, wah.
Very similar to Cajun babies.
Yeah, Cajun babies.
Wow, wow.
Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, I think wah is about right.
They're eating their little baby poor boy sandwiches.
They got a little bit of French bread they're chewing on.
Yeah. I'm making a big vat of cumbo, just like gumbo but with cum.
Wow, dude.
Cumbo.
You got to send me the recipe.
Yeah, it's first you need to do a little what's that thing they call that preparation with celery, carrot, and onion? You know what it's called.
That's that's called the Trinity in Louisiana. But it has
a very specific name. Mirepoix.
Basically what it is, but a real mirepoix has carrots, whereas a Trinity substitutes the carrots for bell pepper.
Oh, I see. Well, it's that and cum.
Oh.
That's what's in the cumbo.
Okay.
An andouille cum sausage.
Okay.
And don't forget about the cum chicken.
And there's shrimp as well, just normal shrimp.
Yeah, there's normal shrimp, not cum shrimp.
No.
But you need the cum shrimp for the cum poor boy.
So this is our pre-Christmas episode.
You're right. Afterwards,
episode will be our post-Christmas episode.
Our in Canada, we call it Boxing Day.
I know. Yeah, I think they say that in Merry England.
Yeah, it's because we all fight each other and then have a good laugh.
I thought it had to do with, like, you would give the poor people empty boxes and laugh when they open them.
Yes, that's also part. And you would also fight them.
You got boxed. Mm-hmm. We thought, you paws. It's an empty box. Once again, every year you fall for it.
But unfortunately, they had their delicious poor boy sandwiches, so they won again.
Well, in England, they have pork pies, right?
Do they have pork pies?
I don't know.
They
have mince pies.
You ever had mince meat? It's weird. It's like meat and fruit together.
It's like spiced too, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know. The English palate is a strange one. You know, they don't like the spice. Do you like mulled wine? Do you ever drink mulled wine?
It was not a thing I enjoyed.
No, it's weird. It's the same thing. You have fruit and cinnamon fucking up a perfectly good wine.
I like that what's that other thing you can make with wine that's kind of like that? Some
cum wine.
I don't know.
You mull it with cum.
I'm sure our listeners email houseofdecline@gmail.com with that other thing you make with wine and spices and Coca-Cola. It's pretty good.
Wine and spices and Coca-Cola?
Yeah, you know, email houseofdecline@gmail.com with the answer to the thing that my brain is too fucked up from alcohol and drug abuse.
It's called a Blackbeard Spritzer.
Aperol Spritzer. That's a good one.
Aperol Spritzer?
Yeah.
What's that?
Aperol
Spritzer sounds like a Nazi.
It's like seltzer with Aperol in it.
Hello, I am Aperol Spritzer.
Looks like you also
commander
put
of the SS.
Prosecco and an orange slice.
You know what the SS stood for?
No.
The sucking Sadies. Because they would suck him off.
I can't.
Suck everybody off.
I got really bad cigarette cravings because I was watching media with people smoking in it, which should be illegal.
Yeah.
It should be illegal. Thank you.
Yeah, you shouldn't depict cigarette smoking. It might trigger people addicted.
It almost triggered a relapse. Mm-hmm. So it should be illegal. And that sucked. So I ate a bunch of ice cream instead.
That's ice cream? Ice cream, a whole tub of ice cream is better than one cigarette.
I don't know.
What
I do not think that's true.
Another not funny. Yeah, no, it's a funny news
Once
story.
I get to like 55, I'm going to leap off the wagon.
You keep saying 55 is the year. Why have you selected that number?
It's a tradition among men in my family to pick a number that which you then pretend to have foreseen through prophecy that you will die. My dad said that he was going to die at 76. He never did. He's still alive 10 years later. But I'm picking 55.
Yeah. Well, I keep saying that. That's what I always said to my mom consistently, whenever she had diseases. Because she had, cancer, 3 times. And I would always say to her, Ma, you're not going to die tomorrow. You're going to die at 82 when a piano falls on you. That was my form of comfort, you see. Because it's like, I've seen the future. You can't die now. You're going to die horribly and ridiculously.
Being hit by a piano is a pretty good way.
Yeah. I think that's the major problem with cancer is that it's not a funny enough death. It's not cancer. It's not that funny.
It's creepy.
It's creepy.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, the cells won't stop replicating. Stop. Oh no. And then they just don't. It's the same feeling you get when you're pouring a soda and it's fizzing up too much.
That's exactly what cancer
That's what cancer feels like.
Yeah.
except it's a squid game where if any of the soda touches the outside of the glass, they shoot you in the head.
Right.
Welcome to Squid Game.
That's what cancer's like.
Yeah. Cancer's like Squid Game.
We all love Squid Game.
Remember
Everybody
Tiger
loves
King?
Squid Game.
Tiger King's like Squid Game.
Tiger King is like Squid Game. Tiger King is exactly like Squid
Darmok
Game. They
and
both have
Jalad.
animals.
Darmok and Jalad and Tiger King is like Squid Game.
Maybe they should have Tiger Game and Squid King. Ever think about that? Think about the Squid King?
It's Tiger Game, Squid King.
Yeah, Tiger Game, Squid King.
Paul Rudd, SNL, Squid Game, Tiger King.
Paul Rudd, SNL, Squid Game, Tiger King.
New language. I'm trying to just do a language where you only say words from the algorithm.
Right. It's Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra, but Paul Rudd.
Darmok and Jalad, that is a nicer version because it's like they're using idioms and phrases from their mythology, like that would be like if we would be saying phrases from the Iliad. But if we're just saying stupid words from the algorithm with no meaning at all. It's much more postmodern.
Instead of butt sex, we said Achilles and Patroclus.
Sure, yeah.
Because they will butt fucking.
Yeah, they do butt fucking. You should read the Iliad because you'll get a.
How come they censored out all the butt fucking scenes
from the movie Troy?
From the movie Troy. They
Yeah,
censored
that's
out
not a
all
good-
the hardcore butt fucking.
That's not a good representation of the Iliad. You should really read it. It'll cure your depression. Mm-hmm. That's what.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Getting into the classics.
You'll be able to throw away your meds if you
Yeah.
just read the Iliad by Homer. Try it.
Yeah, it's called Iliading.
You don't even have to stop taking your meds. You just have to read it, and then you won't need them anymore. I recommend it to a lot of bipolar people.
But still take the meds because, the drug industry needs your money. They're good guys.
We don't want Big Pharma to collapse. Too big to fail.
Well, we do want big pharma. I'm more into small pharma. Those mom and pop pharmaceutical
Mom and pop
companies.
pharma.
Yeah, mom and pop pharma.
Oh, Ma, I'm mixing up a box of Oxy right in the back with my. I'm churning it up.
Yeah, it's just a big vat, and there's like a bike tire in it.
Oh boy, we're making the. I have to pedal a lot on the churn machine to make the Adderall.
Oh, they say we're overprescribing, but the way these profit margins are working out, we're just getting by.
Yeah, well, we're just basically describing what South Park did with their show.
They did a mom and pop heroin.
Well, they turned it into mom and pop weed
Oh, they
farm.
did Tegrity Farms.
And it's still Tegrity Farms now.
Tegrity Farm. It's very funny. That was a very funny decision. And now they're making 18 movies for HBO Max.
Wait, what?
They've already made 2 South Park movies, and 16 more are on the way.
16 more South Park movies?
Yeah, but I imagine they're they're easier to produce than regular movies.
Matt and Trey have the best negotiating agents in the world. Seriously, amazing deal. They got that kind of, I remember hearing about that kind of deal that they got with Comedy Central. They locked in up through season 30 pretty early on. Locking in 16 movies with HBO. Fantastic.
Hey, they can produce it. I don't think I could crank that much shit out of my brain gourd. I'd just be constantly worried it would suck constantly.
You need a slave driver. That's what you need.
That's what they have.
Yeah.
There's just some devious Jewish guy standing over Matt and Trey going, make more stuff. Make more of it.
Yeah.
We're trying.
You need to have somebody with a whip, like a real whip.
Real whips.
That lives in your house and comes out and whips you if you don't make content.
Not fake whips. Not cool whips. Real whips.
A guy comes out with Cool Whip.
Yeah. Starts whipping you with Cool Whip.
Just
splattering a bunch of
like
cream
making
on
a
your
snowball of Cool Whip and throwing it at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of want to buy some Cool Whip.
Why? It's not real whipping cream. That's the...
No, it's like
That's the
shelf
premise of
stable
Cool
whipped
Whip?
cream, so they put margarine in it.
Oh, okay. That's
So
not so bad.
Yeah, you don't have to. I don't know. It's it's a stable whip.
It's a stable whip. Yeah, if you wanted to, sleep for a long time like Rip Van Winkle, first thing you want out is I could really go for some whipped cream.
It's
But
good.
all of my dairy-based whipped cream has gone by the wayside. If only I had some sort of whipped cream product that lasted for thousands of years.
So it's good for events where, say, you want a cake with really nice decorations on it, made out of what looks to be like whipped cream. If you use real whipped cream, it'll melt. If you use Cool Whip, it'll retain its shape. So imagine you want to have whipped cream flowers on your cake. Yeah. But the cake is going to be up on a stage for 6 hours,
Gonna be hot lights.
Gonna be hot lights.
Hot lights down on the cake.
Yeah. So you got to go with the Cool Whip.
Yeah, absolutely. That's you've heard about my Cool Cum, right?
Is that made by the same company as the Cool Whip?
Yeah, it's shelf stable cum. Yeah. Cum that'll last 1,000 years.
And by last, do you mean the little sperms are still wriggling around, capable
They'll still
of...
it's still going to be liquid. It is not going to coagulate. Those sperms will last forever. Not like the song Fame. I'm going to live forever. These sperms will live forever. Because they have been cut with margarine.
Yeah. You'd be one of those guys that injects yourself to make to make you bigger, but use margarine. instead of synthol.
You inject yourself? Oh, injecting. I thought you were going to say guys inject themselves with their own cum to make themselves bigger.
You could try that. Maybe that would work. Get into
Cause of death, too much cum in the bloodstream.
Yeah, he injected his own cum back into himself.
What were you trying to do? Increase my male potency? All you've done is just put a big cum blockage
I was
in your
trying
arteries.
to make my dick bigger. I thought maybe I could put cum in my own blood. Yes, you were close. The doctor's like, oh, you were so close. Yeah. You hit a vein instead of an artery. It has to pass through the heart. Yeah.
Next time I inject cum into myself, I'll get a professional doctor. There is one story that I liked from earlier today. Saw earlier today making the rounds on the internet, which was the Hugo Awards this year were sponsored by Raytheon, which is very funny when coupled with another story about how there was this trans author named Isabel Fall who wrote a story called I Identify as an Attack Helicopter, which was sort of an edgy sci-fi story on the tired Republican joke. Which, if you've read it, and I did read it out of curiosity to find out what the hubbub, it's pretty good story. Pretty good sci-fi story. Of course, Isabel Fall was roundly chastised by tenderqueer science fiction authors to the point of making her detransition. So that's like bullied on the internet by other people.
But
this is what happened.
And they didn't realize that it was like a sarcastic title?
No, they didn't realize it was a... No, have you ever met these people? Have you ever met the kind of people that would chastise somebody for that?
I don't go out and meet people. I don't know if you knew that about me, but I don't know anybody.
No, but it was a huge thing, apparently, on Twitter. All of these other very sensitive queer science fiction authors were going like, I don't think you should use this phrase, and you're actually being very regressive right now. And this person was bullied, and they're never going to write a science fiction story again. Meanwhile, all the same people that were bullying Isabel Fall were themselves attending the Hugo Awards, sponsored by Raytheon, and attempting to justify the Raytheon sponsorship.
I like the Hugo Awards, I guess, but I guess they got, like, I guess there was a thing, like, the woke stuff happened to the Hugo Awards, and, like, I don't know, now I don't know what to believe.
I mean, science fiction's... I mean, I wouldn't say woke, but it's always been a place where sort of queer themes and themes of exploration of societal constructs have been around for a while. You know, I'm thinking of Samuel Delany and Ursula K. Le Guin, people like that. That, you know, who even in the early '60s were, you know, producing wildly progressive stories. And yeah, so there's something that hits a little different when it's Raytheon that's associated with this stuff.
I mean, okay, yeah, like who's
a really regressive science fiction? Who's like a really conservative science fiction author?
Oh, there's a bunch, but like, who cares who sponsors the Hugo Awards? Why do they need a sponsor? It's like a book award. Do they have a ceremony?
Because they need a big ceremony. Yeah, there need to be lights.
Oh, that's silly. I thought they just like sent out a letter.
No, it can't be as simple as that.
If I was the Hugo Awards, my award ceremony would be my secretary mailing out the letters where I like inform you have won a Hugo Award.
Look, an award without pageantry might as well not be an award at all. It might as well just be a big block of shit.
Well, you can probably safely ignore the Hugo Awards as well as the Pulitzers now.
Yeah. Everything. But what will you do once your precious chapeaux is sponsored by Raytheon? Have you thought of that, kids?
Well,
Have you thought of that? When that's going to happen eventually? It's not.
I guess you want your award ceremonies to be sponsored by the right corporations, you know? Like...
If you...
What? Who cares?
If you found out that one of Chapo's donors was serial killer Ed Gein,
I guarantee you Kellogg's has sponsored the Oscars, and no one gives a shit about the Oscars.
I don't think Kellogg's has sponsored the Oscars.
Are you kidding?
I don't know.
I bet you
has Kellogg's sponsored the Oscars?
I bet you a bajillion dollars they bought ads during the Oscars.
Oh yeah, they bought ads, but I guess that's
what is Raytheon doing if not that? I mean, what are they like? If
but
they're
now
not
they
even
have, like,
buying
on your
ads,
Hugo
they're just
award, it says
sponsoring it
Raytheon.
out of the kindness of their own heart.
Well, who are they? How does Raytheon sell ads? You know, who are they selling? It's not like a retail company. They're not expecting people to go out and buy their many products.
I mean,
but it's
sci-fi. A lot of sci-fi is like I think sci-fi came up with the concept of a rail gun before, and then now we have a rail gun. Now that's a real thing.
Getting rail gunned in a sundress.
There's going to be like a weapons enthusiast community in sci-fi.
Yeah, that's why all sci-fi books that speculate about weapons, banned. We should only speculate about peace instruments.
It's
like the
very
peace
strange.
gun.
It's very strange. I don't know why people care about the award ceremonies, but you know they got to have their young adult novels validated as good, so they can feel justified in not reading books meant for adults.
See, here's my science fiction idea. Instead of a pain ray, instead of a Havana Syndrome style like pain ray, we create a bliss ray. We aim it at people and just make the whole world vibe. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's all we have time for. Got really intense at the end there with the Hugo Awards. Wow. So, see you next week, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye, folks.